Greetings everyone. Today's video is about the hierarchy of subject matter. What is the hierarchy of subject matter, you ask? Well, I'll tell you, it doesn't even exist. I've just made this up. Yeah. So if there are videos down the line by other photo YouTubers babbling about this thing, I just coined it. And yet no one's going to see this video, but just for you. And this is important, okay? So in the world of photography, there's a little word we use to describe the people or things that we're photographing, and they're called subjects, right? Some people don't like that because of the language, because it is like, you look at my subjects, hello subject.
Come and see the violence inherent in the system!
But it's the same thing as if you submit to a photo award. So it's just the language, right? So anyway, this is why it's important. You might have no clue about photography, and you think it's just pressing a button, and it's easy, right? Just press a button. I'm just going to go press a button. It turns out that who you're photographing, it can make it a lot more difficult. And some things are very, very easy to photograph that pretty much 99% of photographers start with. And there are some subjects that very few photographers will ever touch because it's just too damn difficult, okay? I've taught at various universities for 15 years. I'm now leading a 1-year just course. Anyone can do it. You don't need a degree or MA, whatever. It's just a course at the Margate School. It's 1 day a week. It's part-time. So often I'll have a photography student who's seen maybe some of my work, or they've seen some work online that's a bit edgy, and they think, oh, I'm going to have a go at that. And they try and dive straight in as a first-year student, or they've been photographing a couple of years to some very complicated subject, and they're just not ready for it. And then they come sheepishly back being like, oh, I couldn't do it. And it's like, yeah, no shit, you couldn't do it. Because you kind of often have to build up to this because it is very, very tricky. So here we go. I'm going to split this into a number of stages. And I'm going to start off with year 0. For me, year 0 begins with the easiest subject who's always available for you, always ready to go. Do you know who that is? You. And there's whole like swaths of photographers who've made whole careers out of self-portraiture. And a lot of it's really good, okay? And I'm not going to talk about some of the photographers I think are rubbish who are doing self-portraiture. I'll just pick out 2 that I think are pretty cool. Number 1, Claude Cahun. You should check their work out. It's pretty spectacular. Started doing self-portraiture at 18. Ended up her and her lover like in a prisoner of war camp in World War II in Jersey. Escaped, but then she died a few years later because of whatever was inflicted upon her in that place. Again, incredible work, marking kind of surrealism, a bit witchy and occult. Very cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. And obviously another great photographer who just threw in a lot of self-portraiture, which you probably know of already, Vivian Mayer. And again, great use of mirrors and reflections and really fun and playful, you know? But you know, you can do that too, and that's fine. And the thing with self-portraiture, if you're trying stuff out, you're always there. Like, essentially what I'm doing right now is self-portraiture, isn't it? I've got a camera on a tripod, except I'm going blah, 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 okay? So number 1 in year 0, self, yourself, in this hierarchy of subject matter. Next up, animals and nature. You just go out your door, you point your camera at your cat, you photograph your dog. Okay, so again, a lot of photographers would be starting out, they do a little picture in a mirror or a bunch of mirrors, or they take a photograph of their cat or their dog or a pet, or they go out and they photograph a sunset. You know what I mean? Like, it's all readily available to you, okay? And it's not challenging. The sunset isn't going to be like,
what are you doing? Why are you taking my photograph? I am the sun.
Like, that's not going to happen, okay? But it could happen further down the line. You see, did that feel fun? I feel a bit, yeah, it happens. Next up, and it's been photographed a lot, your family, your poor parents, your poor family who support you and love you, and then you're just jamming a camera in their face all the time. And again, lots of photographers have made whole careers out of photographing their family. So just one name to throw out here is Larry Sultan. Not a massive fan of the work. I think he's at Looking for Home. I can't remember anyway. There's a whole book and a whole series of him just photographing his parents. It feels sort of like very kind of middle class parents in America, if you're into that kind of thing. Some of them were recently, who I think is really good, really nice photographs, really nice, is Sean Davies Looking for Alice, photographing her daughter Alice, who has Down syndrome, and again, really powerful work, really beautiful work actually. So that's something really lovely. So you know what, just because you are like, oh, I'm just going to stay in my house and photograph my family, it doesn't mean the work can't be exceptional. It can be exceptional. And last but no means least, in year 0, your friends. You got friends, right? I mean, you know, it's probably doubtful if you are a photographer. We are known to be. Now I've got loads of friends. Anyway, the point is that your friends can be someone that you can photograph. And obviously at art college, I used to do that loads. I think most photographers at art college do that loads because it's just a willing subject that you can photograph, and it's not your parents, it's not a cat, it's not the sunset, okay? The main downside with this, and I've seen it time and time again, it's really tragic, I think, for those photography students doing fashion photography, because fashion photography is really unforgiving, because it very much depends on your model. And if you haven't got a great model, and I'm not saying they don't look great, I'm just saying they're just not great on camera and they don't photograph well, you're scuppered. You could have the best lighting, the best locations, props, landscapes, concept. Your model's rubbish, you're done. So that is very unfair. But anyway, I had a really sassy tutor on my degree, and he showed us Nan Golding's work. If I could be bothered, I'd put on a black roll neck. I really can't be bothered, guys. But he'd say something like this.
Nan Golding photographed her friends. Very interesting work. Very interesting friends. You could try photographing your friends, but your friends aren't interesting.
Yeah, but he had a point, like maybe, but my friends are interesting. I think everyone's friends are interesting. Anyway, so there you go. Year zero, man. You're photographing yourself, your pets, your family, and your friends. And I think you can all agree with me at this point so far. Pretty easy, right? Next level, here we go. Level 1, you're leaving your house now. You're going onto the street, right? But you're not quite getting into like real street photography yet. You're going to prey on easy targets, okay? You're going to choose the people of the street. Not people who are passing through it, not real people, people who have to exist in that environment that you're going to stumble upon, who aren't going to try and get away. And often they're not going to try and get away because they think you might be giving them some money. And instead you're like, click, 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 off you go. So who are these people? Homeless people. Massive OG target for the fledgling photographer. Homeless people. Now, I'm not going to embarrass anyone here, but there is a supposedly known photographer in the UK, although I never knew about them till I was on social media, did a whole series on homelessness not long ago, and the photographs are terrible. They're literally the same close-up headshot portraits. There's no sense of their life, who they are, what they do, and yet all espousing these higher values about this amazing work about homelessness. And again, it's that same judgmental headshot portrait of a homeless person looking, you know, down at heel. But anyway, so yeah, common thing, get that homeless person, go get them. I'm kidding, of course. Please don't get them. It's really disrespectful. I feel like there's a whole way of doing this where you actually humanise them rather than just rip them out of context with a little headshot. Oh, it's really rubbish being homeless. Like, you could actually portray their daily struggle. If photojournalism existed still, you could follow them for a few weeks, where they sleep, how they eat, all this stuff, really make people understand what they have to go through. But instead, no, even those established photographers with backing of major homeless charities, headshot, sad. I think photography can do more than that, right? Next one, street performers. Crusty jugglers.
Crusty jugglers.
So, you know, they're just trying to earn a coin. They're a human statue. Doing a bit of juggling, doing a bit of mime. Yeah? And then you come with your camera, cluck, 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 cluck. And they're probably thinking, oh, he'll give me some money out, and you don't. Because, you know, I don't know where I saw it, but I think I saw someone on Threads. It must have been, I don't know, I hope it was a joke. I've left Threads now. But he was like, you know, I photographed the homeless people and they begged me for money. It's like, I am making art. Do you not understand you're compromising my art if I give you money? It's just like, Jesus, man. Oh, anyway. But, you know, again, easy targets. Have got anyone else? Yeah, chuggers, street performers, homeless people, anyone who's basically of the street, that isn't going anywhere, that then you corner with your camera and you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to do this thing and save the world. And it's just like, there is a way of doing it. Most people don't do it. Another thing for street photography, obviously, to keep on that street photography tint of being like hierarchy of subject and easy, backs of people, silhouettes of people. You stay a million miles away, you pick them off with a long lens, you get their shadow, you photograph their back. Again, I'm not saying it's a cowardly way to shoot, but no, it is. It's a cowardly way to shoot. It's so much more interesting to see people's faces and their interactions. You're literally stripping them of their humanity. They just become little pawns, little structural pawns in your wanky attempt to make some geometric pattern that other street photographers then go, oh, I really like the way the light's looking. It's like, yeah, the light, but what's going on? You're literally saying nothing. It's really, again, you know, 25 years down the line, I feel like I'm Mugatu in Zoolander taking crazy pills here, okay? But these also are the kinds of photographers who get massively popular on social media because amateurs like amateur. Yeah, they don't even know about the good stuff, so there we go. Level 2 now on the hierarchy of subject matter, and what have I called them? Performers. But it's not what you think. It's not like the street performers or people I said there. They're called performers. So what I've written here is performist hobbies. So like people who go to like retro boot fairs, people who are like football fans, anyone who has kind of like a performative element to their hobby. And it is performance. If it's football fans, they're dressing up in their little costumes and they're together performing. If they're the retro boot fair, it's not like, oh, you know, I could photograph a real boot fair where, you know, I think there's working class people there just trying to earn a living. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's go to the boot fair where everyone's got money and they're all dressed up in their nice cars, you know. And this is the thing, is it's also because of the death of photojournalism, this is where we're at. Like before, there would have been people interested in like working class life and in where people are at the short end of the stick, or injustices, like economic injustices in our country. But because photojournalism is over, as in the means of distributing that work, say via newspapers, everyone else is going for the, well, actually, I'm going to be a street photographer and I'm only going to photograph nice, pretty things and make it all pastel pink and poppy and yellow and lovely and nice. And look at all this leafy suburb. And I think it's a conservative suburb. It's very lovely, isn't it? And then they know they'll go on social media. It's all delightful and lovely and positive. Meanwhile, down the road, God knows what the hell's going on. But we don't even know about that because no one's photographing it. Wild. So I've got here for performative hobbyists. I found these photographs by, let me get this right, Nobuki Tagachi. And it was photographs of football fans in the Euro 2020. And again, it's very similar to when I photographed the English Defence League, just like kind of yobby, explosive horror show hooligans. And obviously lots of people love that. I just find that kind of behaviour kind of aggressive and mobbish. And as a weird guy who hangs out in the cellar a lot on my own and likes reading, like the idea of mobs of people, I don't know, man. I don't like what mobs of people get up to. Do you? And that is the end of free content. I've got a whole other sections to go through, which will be for my channel members, to do with spectacle, to do with commissions, to do with subcultures, to do with real people in various formats, to do with suffering, to do with hate, and to do with war. And we're just going to keep going. But for you guys at home who aren't paying, I think, you know, you can go watch loads of Sean Tucker videos. He's got nearly 600,000 subscribers now. Go get him. Go get Sean Tucker. You can, you know, you should go and do that now. For the rest of you, here we go.